Does Hollywood even understand oppression? I'm Nate, and today let's look at Bad Batch Season 2, Episode 6, Tribe. Overall, I thought this episode was interesting because it touches on the question of the Bad Batch reconciling the clones with the Jedi. But the common trope of slavers being greedy outsiders filled with hatred is far too convenient. Written by veteran Bad Batch screenwriter Matt Michnovetz, Episode 6 was released on February 1st, 2023 on Disney+. In this episode, the Bad Batch free a Wookiee slave who turns out to be a young Jedi on the run. They return him to his homeworld of Kashyyyk and help free a Wookiee village from a force of slave profiteers working for the Empire. The episode starts on a space station run by the criminal organization Vanguard Axis, which is known for smuggling in addition to other black market business dealings. The guys are on a mission to sell a set of forged chain codes in order to make some money. Omega senses something is off and sets out to explore, whereupon she discovers a Wookiee in captivity. She frees the Wookiee, and soon all hell breaks loose. The guys escape with the Wookiee in the Marauder, where they find out his name is Gunji, and he's a Jedi trying to get home to Kashyyyk. As we've been discussing, the theme for this season is freedom. In Episode 3, we discussed the idea of thought freedom. In Episode 4, we dealt with losing your freedom to your own ambition. In this episode, we are dealing with physical freedom and slavery. Despite the slavery trope, the guys get a glimpse into what it will take for them to reconcile the clones with the Jedi. Gunji clearly doesn't trust the guys, which is a micro-level representation for how the Jedi in general probably see any clone trooper, whether they're working for the Empire or on the run like the Bad Batch. When they reach Kashyyyk, they soon discover that a band of Trandoshan raiders has been destroying the environment in an effort to strip the land of its resources and capture Wookiees as trophies or to sell as slaves. The guys take on a new mission to help the local village fend off the attackers. Though I get the idea of what the writer and his team were doing here, it felt too easy. It felt like the Star Wars version of the movie Avatar, where bad guys are so bad they hate the environment too, and that's how we know they are really bad. Though I really like the Bad Batch and what Dave Filoni and his team are doing overall, the seemingly cartoonish trope of slavers who are physically ugly and overzealous in their hate for different cultures is a growing problem in Hollywood. Slavery is an ugly industry, but even a surface-level look into the history of slavery will produce a different story than what Hollywood tends to show. Slavery is oftentimes perpetuated at the point of capture by people close to the captive or of the same culture. Modern human trafficking, for example, sees many young girls sold into sex slavery by unsavory family members or people who first lure in their victims with offers of love and belonging. The chattel slavery that was heavily funded by the United States and Brazil in the 17th, 18th, and 19th centuries was run on the continent of Africa by Africans. Tribes along the coast would raid the inland regions for rival tribes to gather together a lot of slaves to sell. The character of Yana, the female chieftain of the Wookiee village the guys find, is what I feel to be a wasted character. Though there is an effort to provide a female leader who provides wisdom, I think it would have been a far more interesting episode if Yana was the actual leader of a slaving tribe who captured fellow Wookiees for profit. Another tired trope that Hollywood tends to lean on is that of a female leader who runs somewhat of a pacifist or non-aggressive society which eventually stands up for the oppressed and then returns to their passivity, as if male-run societies are incapable of fighting for the oppressed. I think this episode would have been far better if Yana turned out to be diabolic, that she is actually the slaver that needs to be taken out, and the guys make friends with a female Wookiee warrior from a village run by a clan of warriors. They join with the warriors to capture Yana and her slaver henchmen and henchwomen so they can be brought to justice. Even within the history of chattel slavery in Africa, there are several examples of female-run tribes who embody the persona of the domineering mother so much that they fixated on capturing rival tribes to eliminate perceived threats. Ultimately, I think this says more about Hollywood's view of itself as activists and their unwillingness to see the oppression happening at their own hand in their industry. Despite its tiresome and overused tropes on slavery, the episode was well written and made its point, that the Bad Batch has some work to do in order to reconcile the clones with the Jedi. Thanks for watching, and if you like the content and a deeper discussion into the themes of Star Wars, please hit the like button and subscribe to keep me in your feed.